Now, before we dive into the course content, I'd like to give you a teaser or a taste of what you'll be able to do by the end of the course. So this is going to be one example that's based on one topic that's covered in one subsection of the course. Now, because this is a teaser lecture, I'm not going to explain the technical aspect of how am I doing this, because I'm going to teach you how to do this as you go through the course. For now, just sit back and enjoy this lecture. And after this lecture, we're going to dive into the course content where you'll learn how to do things like this and much, much more. So in this example, we're going to be hacking this Windows 11 computer from this hacking machine. In the first section of the course, I'm going to show you how to set up your hacking lab, including this hacking machine and the target Windows machine. But for now, what I want to do is I want to hack this computer from this hacking machine. Now, the attack that I'm going to show you right now and everything that I show you throughout the course works on Windows 11 and Windows 10 and previous versions. But for now, I'm using Windows 11 because it's the latest. And the way that I'm going to hack that computer, mainly, I'm going to be using a framework called Beef. Beef is a browser exploitation framework that allows us to run a number of attacks against a target browser. Now, for us to be able to use Beef, we have to inject Beef's code into the target browser. So we have to actually inject Beef's code into the browser of the target computer, which happens to be Chrome in this example. Now we're going to use another program called BetterCap in order to inject Beef's hook code automatically into the target browser. So the target user will not even know that they clicked or did something suspicious. Now, I've already configured BetterCap to do that, so I'm simply just going to run it by giving it my network interface and giving it a script that I'm calling here spoof.cap that will place me in the middle of the connections, allowing BetterCap to inject the hook code of Beef into the browser of the target. Now I'm going to show you how to do this, how to use BetterCap and how to write this script yourself as we go through the course. So this is just a teaser for you to enjoy. Do not worry about the technicalities. So I'm going to simply run it. And now BetterCap is going to intercept all the data that will be sent and received from this computer. And the last step, I'm going to run a caplet that is called HSTS hijack caplet. This script will allow us to downgrade connections and inject Beef's code into the browser. Again, I'm going to show you how to write that script and use it later on in the course, so just watch it and enjoy. So I'm simply going to hit enter to run that, and as you can see, we get no errors, meaning that everything is running successfully. And I'm also in here, if you look at the top part of my terminal window, I'm actually listening for incoming connections, because eventually the end goal is I want to be able to receive a connection from the target computer from my backdoor so that I can control their computer and do anything I want on it. So right now I'm listening for incoming connections. So when my attack is successful, I will get a connection in here. So let's go ahead to the target computer and simply run the browser. So we're assuming that this is the normal target user. They run their browser, and for example, they go to google.ie in order to just browse the internet or search for something that is interesting to them. Now, when this happens, BetterCap is going to automatically inject the hook code for Beef. And if we go to Beef, you can see that now we have a new online browser. So right now, Beef is connected to this browser right here. This browser is hooked to Beef, and therefore we can click on it, get detailed information about it, and if we click on the commands, we'll be able to run a large number of commands that will allow us to do so much on that target. Now, we will go through all of that later on in the course, but the one that I want to show you right now is in the social engineering category. It basically shows a fake notification bar for Chrome browsers. So we're going to display a message saying critical update, click here to install, and then we're going to give a link to my backdoor. So when the user clicks on that message, they will install a backdoor. Now, I've already created that backdoor and hosted it on the web server of Kali. Again, I will show you how to use that web server, and I'll show you how to create backdoors later on in the course. So for now, we're just executing and running information that we already know, just as a teaser. So I'm going to hit execute, and let's go to the target browser. And as you can see, we're getting a notification bar in here telling us that there is a critical update. Click here to install. Now you could say that there's an update for Chrome or whatever. You can make this message more convincing. So if you click on install, you'll see that the file will get downloaded into my downloads just like any other file. And if I go to the downloads, let me show you what this file looks like. You will notice that the file has the right icon for the Chrome installer. So right here, I actually have a clean Chrome installer. As you can see, I'm naming it clean. And this is the one that actually contains a backdoor. So you can see the files look identical. But if I run the updates that we just downloaded, you will notice that you get this warning for running an executable. So we're going to run it for an unknown publisher. And then it's actually going to let you install Chrome, as you can see. So it's Google Update Setup. If you say yes, you'll actually get the normal installer for Chrome. But if we go to the hacker machine in here and look at where I was listening for incoming connections, you will notice that I actually got a connection from the target Windows machine. So now I hacked that computer and I can do anything that the normal user can do on their computer. So I can access their file system, I can register every key strike they type on their keyboard, I can listen to their mic, I can turn on their keyboard, I can turn on their camera, I can do anything that they can do on their computer. And just as a quick example to show you how severe this is, I'm gonna do webcam list to list all of the webcams connected to this computer. And as you can see, we have only one webcam. So I'm going to do webcam stream number 1, the first camera. And if I hit enter, we can see a live stream of the target person. Now, this is just one example of what you're going to learn in this course. And like I said, don't worry about the technical aspects. I've connected a number of attacks here in order to achieve this, but we're going to focus and cover every single piece of the puzzle that allowed us to do this. So don't worry about it at all. This is just a teaser to show you what you're going to be able to do by the end of the course.
Hello and welcome. My name is Zaid. I'm an ethical hacker, a computer scientist, and I'll be your instructor in this course. In this course, I'm going to teach you ethical hacking from scratch. So I'm going to assume that you have no prior knowledge, and by the end of it, you'll be at a high intermediate level. So we'll start by teaching you how to set up a penetration testing lab and how to install the needed software so you can practice hacking safely. Once done, the course is divided into 4 main penetration testing sections. The first is the network hacking section, where you'll learn how networks work, how devices communicate with each other, and how to exploit this method of communication to control all the connections around you, crack Wi-Fi keys, and gain access to Wi-Fi networks, whether they use web, WPA, or WPA2, and intercept data to capture usernames, passwords, chat messages, or anything that anybody does on the same network. Once done with this, we'll move to the gaining access section, where you'll learn how to gain access to servers and personal computers. So first, you'll learn how to gather comprehensive information about your target, discover vulnerabilities, and exploit them to gain full control over the target system. Not only that, but you'll also learn how to generate undetectable backdoors and use social engineering to deliver them to your target as a fake update or as a PDF or an image or any other file that they might be interested in. You'll also learn how to spoof emails so when they're delivered to your target, they appear as if they're sent from a friend, from their boss, or from any address that they're likely to interact with. Once done with all of this, we'll move to the post-exploitation section, where you'll learn what can you do with the access that you gained in the previous sections. So you'll learn how to interact with the file system, how to execute system commands, record keystrikes, open the webcam, and even use the hacked computer as a pivot to hack into other computers. Once done with all of this, we'll move to the website hacking section, where you'll learn how websites work, how to gather comprehensive information about a target website, and how to discover and exploit a number of dangerous vulnerabilities that allow you to gain full control over the target website. At the end of each section, you'll learn how to secure systems and secure yourself from the discussed attacks. Now, as I promised you, this course is going to be highly practical, but I also promised that I will not neglect the theory. Now, what we mean by hacking is being able to gain access to a system that you're not supposed to have access to. So, for example, logging into an email account that you're not supposed to have access to is considered hacking that account. Gaining access to a remote computer that you're not supposed to have access to is hacking that computer. Reading information that you're not supposed to be able to read, again, is considered hacking. So you can see that there is a large number of ways to hack into a system, and the word hacking can refer to a number of things, but the main concept is the same. Gaining access or being able to do things that you're not supposed to be able to do is considered hacking. Now, there are three main types of hackers. We have the black hat hackers. These are the bad people that hack systems illegally in order to steal money or to achieve their own illegal goals. The second part of hackers are the white hat hackers. So this is us. These people use the same techniques used by the black hat hackers, and they also hack into systems, but they only hack into systems that they have permission to hack in order to test the security of these systems. And finally, we have the gray hat hackers. These are a mixture of the two. So they'll hack into any system, even if they don't have permission to test the security of the system, but they will never steal money or damage that system, and in most cases they'll go ahead and tell the administrator of that system. But what they do is still illegal because they test the security of systems that they do not own or do not have permission to test. Now, one big question that people always ask is, why hacking? Why teach or learn hacking? Well, hacking is an existing industry. There are lots of job opportunities for ethical hackers, for people like us who would go ahead and test the security of systems to make sure that these systems are secure and not vulnerable to black hat hackers. There is actually a huge demand for ethical hackers these days because of the increased amount of hacking attacks. So we hear on the daily, big systems and big companies are getting hacked. Not so long ago, Uber got hacked and information of more than 56 million users were exposed. So companies like Uber, Facebook, and Google, they hire hackers in order to try and hack into their systems and tell them where the weaknesses are so that they can fix it. They also have bug bounty programs where they literally ask all the hackers around the world to go ahead and try to hack into their websites and with their web applications. And if they could, they will pay them a bounty for the bugs that they find.